Welcome to TraduNews, broadcaster from the UCBC studios. I am Vivian.
And I am Maurice Antoine, and today we have a special program for those who want to study translation here at Universidad Chileno-Británica de Cultura.
Today we will have an interview with a special guest who is going to give us some key information about the university.
A report about the university from a first-year student's perspective.
Our ranking top.
A short analysis with Jeffrey concerning students' fact.
The Green Note with Sergio Centeno.
Now we are with our special guest, Matthias Buerac. He's in charge of the admission department and he's going to tell us more about the university and especially about the Traducción Inglés-Español course. Good afternoon, Matthias. How are you?
Good afternoon, Maurice and Vivian. Thank you, I'm fine.
So, Matthias, tell us about the courses that university offers.
Well, the university offers the course of Traducción Inglés-Español, Pedagogía en Inglés, Educación General Parvularia con mención en inglés, and the course of Educación General Básica con mención en inglés.
What do you do in the translation course?
Well, the translation course focuses, of course, on translation, as the name says, and should not be confused with the interpretation area of study, which is another kind of course that we don't offer yet. The main focus is translating written text, and we give students the tools and knowledge to work as a professional translator. The translator's work may differ depending on which kind of work you choose after graduating, from translation agencies to working in international offices or even freelancing. As long as the translator specializes in some specific area of translation, his work can vary a lot and cover a wide range of workplaces.
What do students need to apply for the course?
Well, there are two ways to apply. For the first, you need to have over 450 points at least in your overall PCU test, that is Lenguaje, Comunicación and Matemáticas. And also, you need your high school degree. The other stuff that we ask for is just regular documentation, like some pictures and birth certificate, of course. The other way is if you have already studied another course somewhere else. In that case, we only require some certificate that you have actually studied there, and you won't need the PCU certificate in that case. Just your high school degree, along with, of course, the documentation that I mentioned before.
What is it like to be in the university?
Well, the atmosphere in the university is really nice, in fact. We don't have much students because we are like a new kind of institution. We started in 2006. So even though our building is not that big, you won't feel that you need more space. And also, we've never heard of any kind of problems concerning the students' relationships, nor in the classrooms, not even when they're, hanging out. So, in overall experience of being a student in university, as far as we have heard from our students, it's really nice.
Well, Matthias, what about scholarships? Is there anyone that a student can apply for?
Yes, we have just our own scholarships. Since we don't have the accreditation process, as it is called here in Chile now, which allows us to use state scholarships, like for example, the Presidente de la República scholarship. Although we are recognized by the Consejo Nacional de Educación, so some of the scholarships that we offer are the Beca Rendimiento UCBC, Beca para alumnos de zonas extremas, Beca Familiar, Beca Hijo de Profesor, Beca de Alimentación, and Beca for Deportistas Destacados, among other ones.
Thank you very much for being here with us tonight.
Thank you, and Maurice.
And give us any information about the university.
It's been a pleasure.
Now let's find out what happens when a newcomer arrives at the university in his first day, in a documentary that we have prepared for you.
Welcome to The First Day in the New World, an animal documentary about this little unmade being, who we call Nikolai. This is Nikolai's first day at UCBC. Let's see how he behaves in this brave new world. His first interaction, short and precise, gives him the pass to continue wondering about all these new places. Before entering this lonely road, he asks for help and guidance from the higher leaders. It is now when he is on his own and the struggle to survive starts. He knows the best way to survive against others is knowledge. Maybe the strongest it's the weak, but the smartest it's the strongest. Books, magazines and films are now his new weapons to use in his favor against any predator work. Besides knowledge, food and energy are also important things to keep in mind. Possibly, the very first days he will have to eat alone, being observed and analyzed by others. But he will show how his evolved thumbs will help him in the act of surviving. There are other tribes and clans. He feels the need to be part of them and visit these other places. Perhaps it is a good place to be and share. He really tried to talk and share with others. The pressure was too much. He decided to race in a cave away from the groups outside. His goal is to study. There are 4 forbidden places to achieve this objective. With no help and no resources, he is by himself now. The time has passed. He is stronger than before. It is time to show the others that he can be part of this student jungle. We can feel his fear and anxiety, but he looks ready to confront the alpha students. He prepares the ritual to be accepted and he made it. He was accepted. And he's now finally part of the clan.
And now we're going to watch a very interesting survey with a special journalist, Rosary Channels, who is going to ask people around the university and what they think about it.
Hi, I'm Rosary Channels and I'm here at the university to survey some students about what they think about the university. Let's see what I can find. Hi.
Hi.
Can I ask you some questions?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Please take a seat.
What are the best and the worst things about the university?
Excuse me?
What are the best and the worst things about the university?
Well, that's an interesting question. Well, I think the best part of the university is more than one. It's like a group of things. The best things the university has is, I think, the teachers, because we have a good base on related with English, and our weakness is, I think, the building itself. It's the worst part
Yeah, it
of
doesn't
it.
very well.
It's good, okay, but I think it could be better.
Yeah. What is your opinion about the university in general?
In general, okay, we have as I told you before, we have a good English, like a base of English. It's really good, but we have to improve a lot of things, such as, I don't know, the building or the classroom management, or I think the central alumni stuff, or I don't know, many things. We can improve, and that's the important thing. Okay. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, can I ask you some questions?
Yes,
What are the best and the worst things about the university?
the best thing of the university are the different areas where we can play. For example, the ping pong table, the taka-taka, and the worst things are the labs, the computer room.
That's all?
That's all.
Okay, and what's your general opinion about the university?
Well, it's a very small university, but has everything what we need for being good students.
Okay, maybe the building is not suitable enough?
Yeah, maybe. But it's comfortable.
Okay, that's all. Thank you very much. Let's see, but I'm quiet. Hi, can I ask you some questions? What are the best and the worst things about this university?
The worst things about the university is the building is not big enough for all students. And the photocopy service is lousy, so expensive, and also expensive. It's not good as it should be. And I think the best things about the university are the quality of the teachers and the relationship that students hold between each other.
And what's your general opinion about the university?
And even though it's not that big and not well known, I mean it's well known but not really recognized, I think it's good university in terms of
Okay, thank you. Hi, can I ask you some questions?
Yeah, sure.
What are the best and the worst things about the UCBC?
Well, I think that, for example, the best things of the UCBC are the teachers. Because, for example, we have they always solve all questions or problems that we have in the workshops, especially in translation. I'm referring to translation because I'm a translation student. But I think that the worst thing is the infrastructure, the building itself.
What do you think?
The best things about the university are, the green spaces that we have here.
The lack of green
Obviously,
spaces.
the exchange
Like a scholarship? Okay.
I don't know, for example, referring to the scholarships, I think that they don't fulfill very well the needs or the things that the students we are expecting, for example, in terms of the money, basically.
Okay, and what's your general opinion about the UCBC?
In general, it's quite good, but there's a lot of things that the university could enhance to be a better institution.
And you?
For example, many students that have to end the courses because they don't have enough money to pay all the terms. That's my opinion about the worst thing. But the university is okay. I like it very much.
There's not all the help that we need as a students for the financiation, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So right now I have the opportunity to interview a teacher of the UCBC University. So let's see what I can find. I think he's sleeping. Excuse me.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
I'm here to ask you some questions. Can I?
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, take a seat.
Thank you. What are the best and the worst things about the university?
The best and the worst things about the university. Okay, well let's start with the best things, shall we? I think for me the best things are the people I work with. I have a very good working relationship with all the other teachers and academics. Everybody's always willing to help out, and there's a very good working environment. And the students as well. I think there's a very good relationship between the students and the teachers. The worst thing, well, oh sorry, I forgot to mention another one of the best things. This sofa is very comfortable.
Yeah.
And the worst things, well, if I could change something, I would change a little bit of the buildings, the actual physical environment we work in. As you can see, the staff room. It's really not big enough for everybody to work in comfortably. So the buildings here are very cold in winter, so I think a lot could be done to improve the buildings themselves, give us a little bit more space and a few more facilities.
Okay, and what's your general opinion?
I really like working here. Yeah, I feel that it's like a little family, which I am part.
Yes. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome.
Hi, can I ask you some questions?
Yeah, sure.
What are the best things and the worst things about the university?
The best things, well, the teachers, the academic part is awesome. The fact that the university is pretty small, so you can know everyone here. The worst part, I think, that everyone says that it's a building.
Yeah, they say that. And what's your general opinion about the university itself?
It's a great formation. It makes really good professionals.
Nice. Thank you. And that's all for the surveys for today.
And now Sergio Sempan is going to interview a graduated student currently working as a professional translator.
My good friend James called me on my mobile once again to ask for my help. But this time was different. He needed some advice concerning his future, so I was delighted to help him out. How are you doing, mate?
My dear friend, you have come.
What happened?
I'm lost. I need help.
What happened?
I don't have my future clear. I think I'm going to die.
But tell me, how can I help you?
I don't clearly know what to do with my life. I'm almost finishing my degree, and I don't know how I will confront the world of work in my life.
But my dear friend, there's nothing to worry about. In fact, the translation world of work is just another step in your life. You have to stand up to it. I obviously didn't know anything about the translation course, so I asked my good friend Vladimir for some help concerning this matter.
So now that you're a fully graduated translator from the UCBC, do you believe that the UCBC gave you all the tools you needed to confront the real world, meaning the translator's world of work?
Yeah, I think. Indeed, the tools provided by the university are key, and it's good that we learn the theory, that's crucial. And yes, they have prepared me very well for the world of work. However, the problem is that seeing as we start the translation studies per se at the beginning of the third year, the total hours of practice at the end are abysmal, and of course not sufficient. Also, I think that the UCBC should broaden its translation studies field of subjects. What I mean is that besides economics, legal and literary studies, it should also include other themes and areas that are included in the technical area, but that are not seen in class, like manuals, software, video games, etc. It's a related topic. They should give new students a glimpse, a list, of measurements, conversion, and how to proceed, and what to do when you run out of options in the search of a term, phrase, or sentence, and you are obliged to come up with something of your own. And of course, the main grade is that everyone has since many years: Spanish. The university should make the implementation of Spanish reinforcement and courses a higher priority because it's very, very needed.
Yeah, I agree with you. And how has your experience working as a translator been so far? How has it been in general?
Yes, it has been very good, but also a little rough. Because of the reasons I mentioned earlier, I've been having a progressive improvement of the working process. At first, I wasn't able to fulfill the quantity of daily translated words, because my translation process was too slow, and at the same time also, I had to accommodate myself to the style used in my workplace, which is very specific, and I had to learn about specific themes and areas in which I didn't know or wasn't inexperienced because I didn't have the chance to study them at the university.
So finally, do you have any advice for newcomers or first year students? Maybe some information they need to know because they have a friend that has problems, so anything.
An advice for your friend? Get out of the translation! We're too many and there's a lack of work now. No, there's a lot of work in there. But just don't look down on your knowledge of Spanish, trust me. You're going to need it very badly. It is just as important, if it is not more, as English itself. Study and apply all the rules of Spanish language as much as you can. And even when you think it's not necessary, like in social networks, for example, every word, and you won't regret it. Do it.
Now that I was very well informed, I was able to help my friend out.
Oh, so guys, you're back. Any good news?
Yes, I have. I have very good news. So, after explaining everything to him, I took him to the UCBC so he could get some more information. Having helped my dear friend, I continue my trip into the unknown, helping poor devils lost in their lives. You never forget that you can be a translator in whichever area you want, like video games, for example. So that was my green note. I'm Sergei Centeniovic.
In our next segment, Jeff Hay is going to analyze how the different aspects of a student's life are affected by their responsibilities related to the university.
Hi, I'm Jeff Hay, and I'm going to show you a graphic chart that demonstrates the balance between social life and studying during the 5 years of the course. In the first year of the university, you will experience the happiest days of your life with a great percentage of social life. There are a lot of bars, for example, like in between cans, the obelisk, mosaic, beautiful view, among others, where you can spend some leisure time. In the university, like I said, your social life will rise sharply. Then, from second year to third year, your social life will undergo a dramatic drop, as we can see here in the chart, from like 100% to 30%. And it will continue falling steadily on that way until finishes in the 5th year with 0 social life. So, if you are a newcomer here in the university, this is what you can expect from the 5 years of study.
Coming up next, the weather forecast hosted by Constance Bastis.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Constance Bastis, and I'm going to present the weather forecast for the next 5 years for translation course at UCBC University. So, in the area concerning estudios contrastivos inglés-español 1 and estudios contrastivos inglés-español 2, we may have cloudy days and floods. Regarding the modules of Historia Contemporánea de Chile 1, Historia Contemporánea de Chile 2, and Filosofía del Lenguaje, we may experience some storms and rainy days. For the second year, we will have beautiful and sunny days for Informática Aplicada a la Traducción 1 and Informática Aplicada a la Traducción 2, whereas estudios contrastivos will remain the same and maybe get worse. In Filosofía del Lenguaje 2, we are going to experience dark and cold days full of reading. So now we are going to present the forecast for the third year. By completing your second year at university, you will get your bachelor degree, and you will get to third year. In general, third year will arrive with horrendous cloudy days and storms that will keep us at home, with very busy with lots of homework, mainly for talleres de traducción de textos científicos técnicos and talleres de traducción de textos jurídicos, and lots of readings for estudios culturales de las comunidades angloparlantes, taller de literatura inglesa, and taller de literatura hispanoamericana. With regards to lingüística aplicada a traducción 1, traductología 1 and traductología 2, some tornadoes and hurricanes may be present and may put in danger the academic life of some students. Fourth year will be similar to third year with the exception of edición de textos en español 1 and taller de traducción inversa, where we'll experience some cloudy and rainy days. And by completing the fourth year, you will get your licenciatura en lengua inglesa, and in the fifth year you'll go through the internship, and by completing the internship you'll get your traducción inglés-español degree.
And that's all for today. Thank you for watching our program.
We hope you have a nice weekend and see you next time in TraduNews.
Good night.